Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Going over today's MLB main slate for today on DraftKings. Before we continue though, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, we appreciate that. We're almost to 900, so that's pretty awesome. And also, if you're playing NASCAR today, um, I recommend checking out the video. The race starts at 2 o'clock. We've been doing very well in NASCAR all year, so I recommend checking out the video. And also, if you want access to this cheat sheet, follow me on Twitter, shoot me a DM, and I will gladly send it to you. And then I'm at cpen_16 on Twitter. And anyway, let's get into the cheat sheet. So for the three pitchers I like, it's Max Scherzer, Julio Teheran, and Zach Plesac. And so for Max Scherzer, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get up there today with all the bats I want, but if I go with Plesac, I should be able to. And he's not in the best spot Scherzer is because it's in a bad ballpark. And he hasn't been Max Scherzer-ish, like completely. Usually he's dominant, but he's been getting roughed up a little bit in some games, but I mean, he's always got that 10, 12 strikeout upside and just dominant performance. So don't mind Max Scherzer at all if you can get to him. It's just the ballpark is a little bit of a concern, but it's still Max Scherzer. Then we got Julio Teheran, 8,700. It's simple as righties versus Detroit. They've been really bad versus them so far this year. And Teheran struggles with lefties, but he should only see around 3 today, so I do think that's a positive for him. And he's actually number one pitcher in my model today, so it does like him a lot. And then Zach Plesac is a nice value option at 5,000. I think this is the best value play on the slate, and he unlocks scores for us. He did very well in his debut versus the Red Sox at Fenway, and this is a much better matchup for him. And if we take a look at the pitching, just to go over some of the pitchers, as you can see, it's got Teheran as number one projection. Although I would lean towards Scherzer probably scoring the most points, but it does not like the ballpark for him, and the matchup isn't the best, as you can see. Only 23% K rate, a little bit of a higher team ISO and WOBA, higher WRC plus, and like I said, the matchup isn't as good, but for Teheran, it's a really good matchup for him. 26% K rate, low team ISO, low WOBA, all that, and he is a favorite at home. And Scherzer is a favorite as well, but so I do like both of those guys. And then if we see, we got Zach Plesac projected for 14 points, which gives him the highest value on the slate, and it's a good matchup for him. 25% K rate, low team ISO, decently low team WOBA for him, and just a good matchup. And the ballpark's decent for him, so I do like him. He's not a favorite or anything, but at only 5,000, we don't need much for value here, and so I do like him a lot just to be able to get up some of those good bats there. But anyways, go into the bats now. So at catcher, like Yasmani Grandal, 4,300. I usually don't pay for catcher, but whenever I do, it's usually for Grandal because I'm a fan of him. Just the guy I seem to play a lot, and 4,300, always like him versus righties. And then Chris Iannetta, 4,000, just it's cores, and if you're not going to use them, just punt because I don't think catcher really makes or breaks your lineup unless a really chalky catcher happens to homer. So, although I don't see there really being a chalk catcher today, but I just don't mind punting the position. And then at first base, we have Daniel Murphy, 4,900. It's cores, and Sanchez gives up a lot of lefty power, so don't mind him at all. And Brandon Belt, 4,100. So this isn't going to end well for the Orioles pitching today, I think, and I do think all the Giants are in plays, but specifically Belt being the number one play from the Giants. He's just got the most power from them. And then Paul Goldschmidt, 4,000. I told you, every time he's chalk and facing a lefty, he homers. I don't know what it is, but he did last night. And he gets another lefty again today, although this is a better lefty in Cole Hamels. And he also owns Cubs pitching throughout his career, though, so I don't mind Goldschmidt at all. It's a pretty good price for him at 4K. And then second base, we have Nicky Lopez at 3,500. Leading off versus Sampson is very bad and doesn't miss many bats, so I don't mind him at all. Then Joe Panik, 3,700. There's another cheap Giants bat, and he should be leading off. And then with Merrifield, just think of Nicky Lopez on steroids. Really, that's kind of what it is. Sampson's really bad versus righties, and Wood is an elite play today if you can afford him. And I don't think many people are going to be on him, of course. And then third base, we have Nolan Arenado at 5,800. I prefer going down to Vlad today, but I'll never talk you out of Nolan and Coors. And then, speaking of Vlad, 4,400. So I really like the price for the upside we have with him, and Sensatella is not a good pitcher, and the Blue Jays should have an easier time tonight not facing John Gray. John Gray did very well last night, but this is the worst pitcher today, so I don't mind going back to the well there. And then Josh Donaldson, 3,700. Cheap and facing a lefty. A good one on Boyd, but the price reflects that, so I don't mind going with him either. And then at shortstop, we have Trevor Story, 5,900. He's on fire, except really last night he only got like, 5 points, but he's still been really awesome, and he's been hitting righties really well this season. I think he's got a 280 ISO versus them, maybe even more after that one game. So, but if I'm forced to pick between him or Nolan, I am going to go with Story just because he's got the power and speed upside, and he's been just really hot so far. And he does hit higher in the order as well, so it's always got the chance of getting an extra at bat. And then Brandon Crawford, cheap lefty versus, I don't know how to say that, Noah. Probably Noah. And then Freddie Galvis, 4,400. He's cheapish and leading off in cores. He's projected to anyway. And the high price outfield, we have David Dahl, 5,100. This is lefty versus Sanchez in cores. Lefties hit better versus Sanchez anyway, but really the whole lineup's in play. And what Merrifield already talked about, and Christian Yelich, it feels like I'm cheating even listing him here, but I couldn't find any other 5K guys I like, so I just threw him on there, and it's just a cheat code. I don't know, he's either going to triple or he's going to homer every day, so if you can afford him, you're getting guaranteed points almost. And then in the mid-range outfield, we have Ronald Acuna, 4,300. He crushes lefties, and he's a little too cheap here. And then plus, these Braves, they could be a sneaky stack. If they can get Boyd out of the game fast, that Detroit bullpen is terrible, and they should be able to feast on them. So that could be sneaky today. And then Randall Grichuk, 4,200. He sucked last night, but he's got a lot of power versus righties, and Senzel is a worse pitcher than Gray, and it's Coors Field. Then Brandon Belt, 4,100. We already went over him. And Cal Schwarber, this is one of my favorite plays of the day, 3,800. Cheap and leading off versus Wainwright, who is terrible versus lefties. I really like Schwarber today. Then Goodrum, I would not expect two homers, but he is lefty versus Teheran, and Teheran struggles versus them. So if we go to the core plays, we have Plesac, just because I want to get all those bats in, I can, and I do think he's going to be popular today, which makes him a little bit safer. And we don't need much for value here. And so if you're going with Plesac, you can probably afford Scherzer, but if not, if you're going to go with Teheran, I mean, you're going to really be able to load up on bats, pretty much beastly lineup with bats, because you're only spending, like 13K on pitching, so that's a lot of bats you can get. Then I like Nicky Lopez for value and Vlad for value as well, and I know that says Vlad, so let's not play Vlad, let's play Vlad. And then I put in the comments that to not mind the San Francisco projections, because it's heavily giving weighing Noah's pitch weight, which is really uncharacteristically, I don't know if I just said that right, bad. So it's really bumping them up. So I kind of deleted some of them, but they're projected very high. But I do like them a lot, though. I just don't think the projections accurately reflect what they should. And then the top stacks are going to be the Rockies, the Blue Jays, the Giants, the Royals, the Rangers. I know I don't have any Rangers listed, but I mean, it's a game in Texas, so I don't mind any of them. Keller's not the best pitcher in the world. And then the Cubs and the Brewers lefties. Alright guys, that's all I have for the video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. Check out the NASCAR video. And yeah, good luck today.